All right, mic check, mic check. All right, seems like we're good to go. It's always such a back and forth kind of dealio trying to get from Twitch to YouTube. Okay. God, Emperor of Mankind, what is up? How you doing? Clean out this water. Stay in there. Okay. Alright, let's get started with this. Finish up some of your Drakari. Nice. Alright. What's up, everyone? My name is Brentley. Welcome to Wicked Minis. How to paint Ultramarine Lieutenant in Phobos Armor. Pretty sure this is the Phobos one. I think this is the Phobos. They got so many different kinds of lieutenants over the course of like three years. There's always like different lieutenants all the time. And it seems like they always keep on updating these other things. Like they always keep updating like Phobos Armor, because I think like the one that's in the Leviathan box. Or no, maybe it's not the Leviathan box. Can't remember, but there was like another one that's like a kind of a different Phobos Armor. Oh no, there's one, I think the captain has the stuff that drips off of him, I think. Actually, I can't remember. This one's a Primaris Lieutenant in Phobos Armor. Yeah, it's the one that has all the drippy stuff off of the blade. And so this is a different... This one's a different Phobos Armor of the edition before. Yeah, you're like trying to finish your Drakari, but you're like the God Emperor of Mankind is doing Drakari. Okay, we're gonna start airbrushing, really. That's gonna be our shenanigans today. I'm gonna sit here and just start airbrushing all our blue and get these guys up looking like how I did my stern guard. I figured that it'd be nice doing a little change up here. I was doing Tyranids for the past handful of videos, but I pretty much finished up all my like character HQ units for Tyranids. So now I'm kind of jumping over and doing the HQs that I got for my Ultra Bros that I've been painting over on Twitch. Alright. So, let's start getting involved with some airbrush work here. Yesterday I finally pulled down all my old world stuff, and I have so many boxes of stuff that were still in the boxes that I need to get assembled, but they're old. Boy, they're old. They're like 20 something years old. And then like some of the things that got done, you know, I got models that are back in like 1980. I think I even have one that's back in 1979 from G-Dubs. There's a lot. There's like some dark blue. Like I totally failed him. He was one of my first minis. Kinda have to finish my Jakari and Eldari armies. Okay, gotcha. You're just doing somebody else's heresy, huh? Heretic models. Understandable. Don't need a whole lot because we're just painting one dude. Need some airbrush flow improver. Just good old water. Used up stir brush here. Plug the front in. Push air. Okay. Let's go ahead and just do a full base coat on this whole model. Alright. Gonna give that a minute to dry. While that's doing that, we're gonna boost up the color on this by going into blue. I'm gonna feed this color in there so I can get like a in-between color from that dark blue to blue. Okay. That'll work. That'll work. Since we put more paint in there, we got to put just a little bit more flow improver. Not a whole lot. The more flow improver you put in there, the longer it takes for the paint to dry. A little bit of water just to get the needle to stay wet. Flow improver makes the paint stay wet, and the water makes the needle tip stay wet. Pull it back. Many bubbles means you got a good mixture ratio there. Kind of forcing a flash dry on this model is by blowing air on it. Kind of leaving the bottom alone a little bit. I'm gonna give this a minute to dry too. And then the next color we're gonna be going in, we're gonna drop a little bit of this color out. I got a little portable sink. And I just kind of pour a little bit of this paint out, so I only have a little bit in here, so I don't have to mix so much of the faded ultramarine is next. And I'm almost out of this one. But granted, I got a new one, but this is an extremely old bottle. Dropping paint everywhere here. Just drying out the model, so I'm just blowing air all over the model. I'm kind of giving it a flash dry. Means that the internal of the paint is not dry, but the external will be dry enough for me to paint over top of. Since we're only doing just a singular model. Kind of doing the extreme highlights on this one where light will be reflecting off this model. Not doing anything underneath, keeping those all nice and dark in the shadow, giving the shadow effect. Okay, I'm gonna pour a little bit more of this out. Take some more of this faded ultramarine. A little bit more. I think I'm out. And there's no more left. Finally using up all those 17 milliliter bottles of paint that I got. A bit of flow improver. Because when we do the oil wash, it's going to darken all that back up. So. Of course, it's always way too much paint than I actually need. Turn down the pressure a little bit off of my airbrush. And I'm just gonna kind of hone in a little bit more onto the certain parts on this model. Shoulder pads, part of the chest. Get the arms. Kneecaps, the toes, other pauldron, top of the backpack for sure. A little bit on the tips of the whatever these things are on the backpack. Bit of work on the hands, just to kind of give it a nice little reflections here and there. There we go. Nice and bright. Okay, now we're going to give this a minute to dry. And I'm going to rinse out the rest of my brush, and then we're going to go right back into this doing what we do best. Block fill it all in. We'll see how much time I have after we block fill it. This dude does have quite a bit of stuff on him. I'm gonna clean out my airbrush. Almost. Make sure I clean out most of my airbrush here. I think it takes the longest to clean out my airbrush than it does to actually paint the miniature. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Looks good. Do that. Shut off this noisiness. And now we're gonna get back into the good stuff here. Like switching this around. Oh, let's get a new. Yeah, you just go on to Amazon and order yourself a bunch of construction paper. I got a bunch of black construction paper. All right. And now we get to actually just go in and just start doing all our block fills and all the fun stuff we're planning on doing today. Washed. Okay. First and foremost, the easiest one we're gonna do, we're gonna say you're going coal black. That's for the gun. All the little servo parts that are in between the armor plates. Get that done first. Then we'll figure out the rest here later. Out of coal black. Need kind of a thin brush, so probably about a number 1. You could probably do it with a number 2. I'll go with number 1 first. Sometimes things can get a little tight, so you might have to go a little under, probably like a 0. Yeah, but it was kind of interesting going through all my old world stuff. There's some things that are missing that I got to kind of 3D print, and it's from my like I got Chaos Warriors. So I have Chaos Warriors. And those are like the original old Warhammer Fantasy. Then you got the Warriors of Chaos, which they're larger, they stand upright, they're not all like push forward, hunch forward kind of looking models. And the Warriors of Chaos, they're like a little bit taller, and they have like the kind of circle plugs on their chest. That I have the halberds because I have all the pewter halberds that are on them. I'm missing the shield, like the arm with the shield that goes on the other side. But then also I gotta look too in the book to see if they actually can take shields. I'm not sure if they have. If you have halberds, I don't know if they can have shields. So I'm gonna have to look and see. Because I'm missing their arm, so I have the halberds, all the upgrade halberds on them, but missing the other things. And then I got 2 regiments of Chaos Knights and a regiment of, yeah, so there'd be Chaos Knights, so they're mounted on steeds. So I got 2 regiments of those, and then I got the Marauder Knights, so the ones that are on horseback. So I have a set of those that need to get built. And like old things like that, they just don't come with instructions, if I remember right. You just kind of, the world is your oyster back then. You can just build them however you want. Just the cool thing is that whenever they decide to release old world new faction, seem like all they have is the Bretonians, Tomb Kings, and it looked like they released the Orc faction and all the orcs that you can get there. Looks like those are all the newest of the releases of Old World so far. Then once they get the Warriors of Chaos, I can hopefully get what I want are like the Chaos Ogres at that time, the Chaos Trolls. Those are things I don't have. And then the Chaos Dragon. I want the Chaos Dragon really bad. I thought I had one, but it's not around anymore. Just like using black, going through the little servos. I guess that's what they would be considered in between the arm panels. I figured that it'd be a good idea to start actually doing a little bit of Ultramarines on YouTube Live. Just showing how I did my blue for the Ultra Bros. Nice. Then I think I might switch things up. We're almost done with all the rest of the Ultra Bros on Twitch for the assembly paint jobs that we're doing. I just got the suppressors to finish, the eliminators, and infiltrators. And then I'm just down to character models, so I feel like I'll just do the character models on here, but I do got a tactical war suit and a dreadnought, so I don't know if I want to do those on Twitch stream or on YouTube. So I'm trying to figure out, maybe I'll do the tactical war suit on Twitch and do the dreadnought, because the dreadnought's the ballistic dreadnought, so I think that'll be easier. The classic paint eating, yes. I just go for it. Got it. Because then I'm going to do all the assembling, or not the assembling, but the paint line for all my infantry units and stuff, and then we'll go and actually start doing Tyranids on Twitch, so we can kind of switch things up a little bit. And then once all the Ultra Bros are done, we'll be starting to do character units on YouTube with Necrons, so I can get that lineup done. And then we'll, after I'm done with all the Tyranids through Twitch, then we'll do Necrons. And then I'll be doing character models of Dark Angels on YouTube, and then do the assembly deals on Twitch, like the mass painting numbers, when I'm painting like 5 and 10 units at a time. So I think that will like actually progress pretty quickly. I know I need to do the Adeptus Mechanicus. I need to find some time to do those. Those are kind of difficult models that. Stream on both platforms? Yeah, so because I'm doing and I plan on getting the Streamlabs Ultra, because I was trying to get out of contract with Teespring for my domains that I paid for, and I should be all done with Teespring here soon. Then I'll go back into doing the Streamlabs. And once I go Ultra, I can do multi-streams on platforms, but I have to pay the extra for getting the Ultra through Streamlabs. So Streamlabs doesn't give me the option of doing multi-stream right off the jump. I have to pay for Ultra for that. And since I have everything set up through Streamlabs, I really don't want to open up another OBS operating broadcasting system. I don't want to open up another one just so I can multi-stream. So I figured that I'll just multi-stream with Ultra through Streamlabs, and then I could probably do both through YouTube and Twitch. But most of the time you don't get a whole lot of going on through YouTube. That's why I always kind of limit my amount. But I guess we could do a multi-streams through YouTube to keep more videos cycling through. But the thing is that there's two different things I do. YouTube, I'm trying to keep this thing like PG-13 as best I can. So that's why I'm doing it in like the mornings on Sunday, just because like no beverages. All I'm doing is just drinking water. And then Twitch is kind of like my more, older audience. I try to make YouTube a little bit more universally friendly, and then making Twitch my more adult appropriate, I guess. And then YouTube is more everybody. It's child friendly and everything else. So I was like, I watch my mouth. I watch my mouth. And that's the reason why I kind of don't want to do a multi-stream, is because when I'm on Twitch, it's at night. I'm done through work. I like drinking a beverage and doing some painting and talking about stuff. And then on YouTube, we can't talk about much of anything but what I'm painting. That's the reason why I don't multi-stream that, because Twitch is kind of home to my normal behavior, I guess. What's up, Go Forward? How you doing? Exactly, because YouTube, you can rewatch it. It immortalizes it onto YouTube. So everything that I do on YouTube, it just immortalized. The videos don't go anywhere; they stay there. That's great, but I would have to like watch myself on Twitch if I do a multi-stream with YouTube. So that's why I kind of make this YouTube stream like exclusive. And most of the time, it's just kind of good just to do just like single videos on certain things, like character models and how I'm doing my, how I'm doing Ultramarines right now. And like how we did the Tyranids in the videos past. Trying to just keep myself like that through YouTube, and then just trying to get those the follows on YouTube or the subscribes on YouTube and the likes to kind of cycle in the algorithm of YouTube. How consistently you have to be on YouTube. You have to just constantly keep up with videos, never skip a week, because then that screws up your algorithms and whatever the case is. I'm just trying to shoot for those 1,000 subs for YouTube. I can start trying to work a partnership deal with YouTube. Then I can start making a little bit more clever of videos on like how to do something like more specific and toned down. But just doing it live just makes it way easier on my end. Just way easier. I don't have to sit here and cut and edit. Or just live and just doing it live. Oh, that's a good one, making shorts. Yeah, I just didn't know exactly what it really meant to make shorts on YouTube. So yeah, just have them like spinning around on my little cool little table. I have the little spinning table right here. I guess I can just film it up and then upload them as shorts. That's a pretty good idea there. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah, and then just kind of just constantly just being done with the models and then just kind of sitting there and just cycle shorts on YouTube. No, that's a good idea. Like after I'm done with them, just kind of have them on a little spin top and just have like little 15-second dealios. And I guess that's what you would consider a short. I have to look up like what the heck is a short. I'm sitting there. And then when I'm kind of done with the videos, done with the models, the other thing to do is actually take true pictures of them and then actually have them as my thumbnails on the videos. I think that'll be a catcher, but then also when I do those changes, it also changes the algorithm too of the videos, so that's a good thing. Looking to see if there's anything else I need to make black. That looks good. Almost. Just a spot. Right on the gun. Everything looks good right there. Next one up, we're gonna go dark umber. This is gonna be the base coat of all the leather works that are gonna be on this model. So all the holsters and all that stuff. Sticking to the sponge too well. It's floating right above it. Yeah. This is going to be kind of all our workup for leather. I think that these sheaths, I think we'll make them kind of a different kind of brown, but we'll start it all off with dark umber anyways. Then we'll introduce like a transparent red, or even a transparent brown, because a transparent brown has quite a bit of red in it. But it is nice adding extra days to my painting days, doing on YouTube and Twitch, and just getting more figures done gives me more days to paint, which makes things nice. I kind of want to say that this Lieutenant in Phobos Armor came out of the Dominus box. This one's not the same Lieutenant in Phobos Armor as the one that's in the Leviathan box. Then I don't remember how I came across the Captain in Phobos Armor, because he's a little slightly different too. And I don't remember what box he came out of. He must have came out of a Battle Force box or something. Every time that I buy models and stuff, I never really buy them individually, unless you're getting them from like the Imperium magazine. But you can't get that anymore. And I'm still carrying the Stormbringer magazine. That's the Age of Sigmar one. I'm always about looking for deals. That's another thing that I would like to actually do like YouTube videos on, about like the cool things that you get out of those magazines. But you got to be able to like enjoy what's going to be coming in those magazines. So those are like a lot of Stormcast Eternals, and those are the Cruel boys out of those magazines. The Imperial magazine, the Imperial magazine was the 40K one, and that one had like Necrons and Space Marines. And they had a little bit of like Sisters and Admechs, but a lot of Necrons. So you would just have to kind of be up for getting those, but the savings are just so good that I just couldn't pass them up. And then most of the time I'm always waiting for like, you know, starting boxes. Even when it's a new edition, those are great savings on boxes. Battle Force boxes, which normally come around October, November. And they give you like a faction of good deal boxes. Those are all the ones that I normally get. I very seldomly get individual unit boxes just because I just don't get enough savings off of them. I really watch the hobby dollars. Combat patrols, like the older combat patrol boxes, are really nice to have. I just don't really have a good thing to say about the newer combat patrol boxes. I just don't think that you save enough on those. The newer combat patrol boxes that they're releasing seems like the only deal you get is like a character model, so you're only saving anywhere between like $35 to $40, which is not bad, but it'd just be nicer. The older boxes, the combat patrol boxes, are way they're a better deal for combat patrol box. I think like in like the biggest savings to like actual pointage on the tables, like Grey Knights, combat patrol box. The Custodians are like a good patrol box, but they keep on making the new ones. So like the new Admechs, the new Necrons. I think it's the Space Marines combat patrol, even the Dark Angels combat patrol. I'm not too fond of. They should have cut down your intercessors and gave you a full set of Hellblasters. That would have been a better box if they actually had 10 Hellblasters, less intercessors. So like only 5 intercessors and then 10 Hellblasters. And even the character unit that's in there, your HQ is only a captain in Gravis armor. Which he ain't terrible, but still, the savings there is just like you pretty much buy that box, and 10 intercessors are like $65. But Hellblasters are like $65 too, but you only get 5 of them, so that's half. And then you get the Gravis armor, so that's pretty much exactly roughly around $165 or $160 or whatever they're selling those boxes for now. And to me, that's not a very good savings, because before, your old Battle Force box, like the Dark Angel box, I think that one had the Dreadnought, which that's like $70. And I think they had intercessors in there. Oh, and they have Blade Guard vets. I forgot about the Blade Guard vets. So they have Blade Guard vets in the new one. Yeah, so you're pretty much getting 50. Yeah, you're pretty much just getting the Gravis armor for free. Yeah, you transfer the one with the tank. Yeah, it comes with the Impulsor. Did the Impulsor come in the Dark Angel box, or the that should be just a regular Space Marine box, right? Like the Spearhead or whatever they called it. That wasn't a half bad because it had a lot of elite units in there. That's all block filled there. That looks really nice. He has little pouches on his chest. Yeah, but the older Battle Force boxes are a better price. Unfortunately, they raised the prices on those to $160 as well. Which the savings is not as much as it was. They used to be combat patrol boxes used to be just $100, and then they raised them up to like $130. And now it's $160 for those things. So Maybe they were 120, then they raised them to 160. The savings are not quite there for combat patrol boxes. So now it just kind of seems like the direction it's going in is that the combat patrol boxes ain't really your big savers. You're going to be saving off of like starting boxes, like the Deathwing Assault box was a great box because it had the Codex, 10 Terminators, 5 Knights, and Belial. So that's like an excellent saving right there. And that's like, that's I think that's $180. I don't know. I think there's $60 per box of Terminators. I don't think they're 50. I think they're 60. That's $180 in just Knights or Terminators there. Then the Codex is $60. So that's $240 right there. Then Belial's like a $40 unit by itself. That's $280. Right? Anything else that comes in that box? And then upgrade sprues, which those are like $20. So that's like a $300 box for $200. So you're saving like $100 off of that. That's like a pretty good that's a good deal, right? And that's if you're paying GW price. Now, if you're getting it like a third-party game store or whatnot, you're saving an extra 15% off. So you're saving like $120, $140 per box. That's a good savings right there. Back into the black, forgot some things. Happens all the time, especially when you're looking at nothing but blue. Get all the pistol handles. Then I need to do the grip handle here. Any other brown patches anyway? Brown real quick. Yeah. Next one is we're gonna go into silver. Some black metal from scale 75. On your regular Ultra Bros, they don't have as much silver as this guy's going to be having. Silver belt buckle here. Not sure if this trinket was supposed to be all gold, but it has kind of like a little blade on it. Got this a little thick, so I'm going to add in just a touch of water. Move some of this so the metallic kind of lays a little bit smoother. Sometimes when you get too thick on the metallic paint, kind of looks a little chunky. Going here with just this is an extremely wet brush. Just kind of pushing true metallic smooth. Sometimes it'll get kind of chunky and kind of textured, and if you wanted to smooth out, just because you put too much paint on there, that's what I did. Just kind of going with a wet brush, kind of smoothing this out a little bit more. Gonna have a little bit of texture on there anyways, but this will reduce quite a bit of it if you went too thick on it. Too thick on the blade. Going back to some brown because I got to fill in where all this blue is showing. Oh. Keep on going with the silver. Got quite a bit to do. Work on the sun. Once we get all the block fills all done, everything else will go relatively quick, just like we did with the Tyranids. Off balance here. I can see the blue kind of bleeding through. This lieutenant definitely has a bunch of stuff all over him, that's for sure. I don't think he can fit any more pouches or anything on his utility belt or anything. I think if I actually want to keep that silver, I kind of don't like it like. Little antenna. Right there. Silver there. While it's still wet, you can sit there and just apply water right over top of it. Or moving it. All right. Limit the mess that we have to make. Now, I think that like these things, like the tube should be silver. Conduit. I think that is little radar thing. Go with black and then we'll change it up if we need to. I think there's just a little too much silver. Anything we can just do like camo green or something on that. Kind of introduce some accents. Keep it black for now. I need some of this brown because there's this little strap. Well, maybe it's not a strap. Guess not. Little tab right here. Like I said, there's just a lot of stuff on this. Now let's go on and work on a little bit of gold. I'm gonna take some rich gold that I'm almost out of, which I need to place an order on metallics, that's for sure. I need some more pro acryl metallics. And then with that rich gold, I'm gonna actually take some of that coal black and mix it. So we get kind of like a dark rich gold instead of a bright rich gold. It'll still look relatively bright, but it's just not so yellow. It's still gonna be there. Alright, show you. There's that. This is what rich gold is. Difference there. Difference between the two. Then I take coal black and I mixed it in here just to kind of darken it up a little bit. And then also has two factors, even though that rich gold sticks really well, but this one sticks even more because we have black on it. It has a pretty good color too, and it works really well with the Ultra Bros. Great part about these guys, you don't have to do that much trimming on this process. We only have one shoulder pad that we have to trim out. Gosh, let's start. Alright, now is there any other gold that more trinkets? Or almost got all the block fills in. Next one up, we're gonna go with some burnt red. And we're gonna finish up the little purity seals. A lot of this. I only think he has only like two. There's only like 2 purity seals that he has. We're gonna do. I feel like I needed to do something, and now I can't. What? Oh, there. Yeah, a little bit of black here. Just missed spots. Silver. Not bad. We're about an hour and a half in, and we're all done with, almost done with all the base fills. Not including his flesh on his face, but we can actually just throw a color in there just to get that going. The next color I'm going to do is dark golden brown, and this is what we're going to do with the purity seals and the little marking on his other shoulder pad here. have to be slightly careful so I don't make get anything on the blue. One of the hardest things probably to do when they're so thin like this, but just take light brush pressure. That. Now let's go and smash out the others. Like your typical Space Marine, like if you're doing intercessors, even like Hellblasters, all your other figures don't really have this much decorations on them. Kill. Ow. Alright. Now let's go ahead and do flesh tones. Easy enough. We'll just do shadow flesh. Self. A whole lot because we're only covering just a little section of his face. There's not much flesh. Just like a very little bit. Alright, so now all block fills are all in place. These are what the colors are gonna be on this model. Like you can see, there's not a whole lot there. This was the most like, this is like a nice clean model. Like if your model was looking just like this and you put this on the tabletop, it'll look excellent. A nice, really clean look. Then you can sit there and emphasize everything else. Like the baby blue doesn't look so grim dark. Yeah, it's a pretty color. Like everything looks really well on. That's for all block fill. All right, now let's start working on our midtones and highlights. might have the great silver. There. Now, go ahead and work on the leathers, and then we'll do the black, and then we'll get this all ready for a wash. I kind of want to make sure I get the silvers in there proper as well, but you can't really do the silvers until after the wash. Well, we'll try to do it without the wash and then do the wash after everything's all complete. Normally, it's really nice to actually tone it all down and then do the true metallic silvers and golds after a wash. All right. Anyways, I'd like to go into the most bones to paint. Like for 40k? Like 40k with the most bones? Possibly the World Eaters? For Chaos? Chaos has a lot of skull bones in general, but World Eater has quite a bit. I mean, they are... What was it? Skull, blood for the Blood God, skull for the Skull Throne. Any miniature? Like a single miniature? I think Master Execution has quite a bit of skulls on them. And I haven't looked thoroughly enough in Angron to see how many bones are on him. But this is like Karn the Betrayer. You can kind of see all the skull heads he has on his. Plus all the skulls that are in the internal part of his helmet. Guy has a lot of skulls. So, we're going to go into some leather brown from Army Painter. Still my favorite for making leather. But like from any game, like skeleton and stuff, I mean, that's Soulblight Gravelords for Age of Sigmar. They have the most skeletons, like skeleton armies, skeleton bones. But then if you're talking about like a single miniature with a lot of bones on there, would be a Judgment model from Creature Caster. Has a whole cape out of bones. That thing's that's a cool miniature. If you're just looking for like a single miniature with like a lot of bones on it, that's not like technically a skeleton, like an actual like a being with, you know, accessories for bones. That one has a ton of bones. But if you're just looking at like regular skeleton armies, like Soulblight Gravelords for Age of Sigmar, or even if you're getting into Old World with the Tomb Kings, those are all bones. There's not a single flesh piece on any of those. Yeah, for like bone wise, that's about all I got there. Like trying to think if something else pops up, but that's about all I got. Yeah, like if you look at the creature caster model, I don't have that model. I wish I did have that model. But that guy is like wearing a full cape of bones. Like he's a really neat looking character. You're all down for the Nurgle stuff. You're all down with the Death Guard stuff, huh? Or just Nurgle in general? Like in Age of Sigmar Nurgles. That Nurgle's just a cute grandpa. I understand why my son left me for him. Familiar with D&D miniatures, perhaps? I've done a couple of them. Now, some of these are kind of proxies to certain things, but I've done things with Lethal Shadows miniatures. He's been wonderful sending me miniatures to do. This is the Spectral King. That I did. A lot of these things can be interpreted into your D&D world. A mimic, which still needs more work, but we're getting there. I can do more with the chest. Then good old Minotaur. Then even a squig. Kind of one of my personal favorites here was this is a Gwyn Evil. Oh yeah. So I've had a handful of them. Still need to do I want to say it's like this ice princess that I haven't got started yet, but this is like a I want to say it's like an ice princess or something. Something of that sort's from Lethal Shadows. I haven't got to painting this thing yet, but eventually here, I guess. But yeah, I like D&D models. The axolotl. Yeah, they're not too bad in price for Lethal Shadow models. And like I got Reaper miniatures, but I have not been painting on the Reaper miniatures yet. I've been kind of busy doing these guys, but I do have in the works of doing some Reaper miniatures and Dark Sword miniatures. Like I have them built, they're kind of ready to go, but just haven't had the chance to actually get down and start painting those guys. They are extremely nice models, though, from Lethal Shadows. Has some really cool models. They're really nicely printed. And out of the handful of Reaper miniatures I purchased, seems like the bones, Reaper Bones Black, are really nice miniatures. I think a lot of those are like resin models, so they look a little bit better than the PVCs. But I do have like quite a large dragon from them that I got. And I think that's like a PVC. PVC material. So now the left pouch is coming out looking a little bit better there. Guys, we'll just keep going with it. So what we're gonna do is take we'll just take some pale yellow. Since brown has like a little bit of a yellow in there anyways, we'll just go with this. We're gonna brighten up that leather brown. And we're gonna just do our highlights. Yeah, well, you for price wise, things got a little bit more pricier since then. some other leather brown work here. Add it all. Now we can go into the brighter brown. We're almost there. Pouches. Crossway stuff for 120 bucks, shipping including, and then $70 taxes came. Did that without them telling me. Oh. Oh, wow. That's a lot for the custom fees are quite expensive. Then the VAT tax is really expensive too. Leather. Now, next, let's go ahead and take some of the bright ivory. It's a little slightly different than your pale yellow. It's a little brighter. This is the color that we're going to be using for the purity seals and the little strip that's on his shoulder pad. Is this for that specific product? Gotcha. Alright, let's start working on the purity seals. A little bit of that pale yellow into the dark golden brown. It's up here. Hey, what's up, Smoke Eater? How you doing? It's going well, thank you. Working on this lieutenant, this ultramarine lieutenant in Phobos Armor. I figured I'd just start doing all the kind of the HQs and how I go about making the color schemes going on here on YouTube. Since we pretty much did all the character units out of the Tyranids, so I decided to change things up just a touch. And once I'm all done with the character units of the Ultra Bros, we'll start doing character units of Necrons, Admex. We'll do those all on YouTube, make things a little nicer, give YouTube a little bit of a break of just doing nothing but bugs. A little bit different. Now with that same mix, we're going to add even more bright ivory to it. Now we're going to sit there and make it even brighter. It's going to give you that off shade of white. Let's see here. Do you do the writing like normal pencils? Black ink. You're talking about the ink pens. I have them, but no. If I'm doing writing in there, I'll be doing it with a brush. We just have to have a cool name to put in here. Some cool Latin word that we can put in this. So we got all our leather done. Now I did say that we're gonna change up the leather of the, not the straps, but the actual sheaths that the knives are in. And we can do that right now once I can find the right color. We're gonna sit here and do a transparent brown. With the transparent brown, this thing has a lot of red in there. So this should discolor the sheath a little bit. Should, hopefully, without me having to add any kind of red to it. So I'm gonna sit there and I'm just gonna take it, water it down to like dirty paint water. And do like a fat glaze. Not so much of looking exactly the same, just slightly different. A little bit more red tone to it. Kind of change it up from different kind of browns there. Okay, next one up. We did that. Let's go and finish. Let's just do the finishing up on the purity seal. So let's just do that little red wax seal thing. We're gonna go right up into bold pyro red. Just hit some hedge highlights on those things and call them done. Hopefully I can get the paint to come out. All I need. A little droplet of that. Was bright. Now let's go into the next bit. That'll be the, I got the bright ivory, so I'm just gonna take that coal black and just kind of put a little bit of bright ivory in there. This will give me my grays that I'll be looking for anyways. You can lighten it and darken it depending on what colors you want to put in there, what kind of gray you're after. Kind of did like a little bit of a 50-50 mix, so then I can sit here and start working on the highlighting the servos. Not bad. It's going by quick. Like I said, not bad. We're going to take some more of this bright ivory. We're going to mix it into this batch. We're going to go even brighter. Yep. Now we're going to sit here and just do a little bit of edge highlights just to brighten up some of these servos.
cinnamon roll. 4, too. I put them.
I don't know. Make some room. Like messes, it looks like.
It was only one thing. I don't know what popped.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Oh, it was your lighter.
Oh, okay, for cleaning out the... Put that up.
Put your cinnamon roll.
Appreciate it, thank you. There we go. Black on there now. You can see that is defining. There wasn't none. I sat there and I called and double checked, but it worked out anyways because I was able to have the guy that I wanted to talk to about if I'm doing this properly, and then he gave me some suggestions on what to do. Kind of tone this out better for the non-metallic metal and how to make sure to keep on glazing because I'm still not there yet. It still needs like a gazillion layers of glazing to get this thing done. And but no, he forgot to post it up on Facebook, so probably next month. And then I took a bunch of models and swapped some things out. Actually, I should grab those things because then I can show you guys what I'm talking about. I grabbed some stuff that were in the display shelves over at the game store and I swapped it with other ones. So these things here were ones that I took out of the display store, and then I put the knights, those Imperial Knights that we did, and I put those in the display area, and I pulled these guys out. Okay, so I can get these guys to come out properly. That'd be awesome. These are the Hell Drakes that were in the display case over at the game store that I did, but now things have changed now because I can't use Hell Drakes. I don't think I can use Hell Drakes and stuff in World Eaters. So these were ones that I did, and I have two. I have a matching pair. So I got two matching pairs here. These ones were in the display case, but now I pulled them out and I put different ones in there, kind of cycling things out a little bit. I don't have anywhere to put these guys. That's the problem with these dudes, they're so big I don't have anywhere to put them. And then I had the second pair of the Obliterator. I had a dual pair of Obliterators. This Obliterator was in the store. I got a whole nother one. And then this is the dude that floats around with a Dark Apostle. That goes with the Dark Apostle. And that supposed to float around. He's supposed to have a second one. I think the second one's put away in the case, but there's two of these dudes that go with the Dark Apostle. Then I got an Aspiring Champion. It's these. Oh, and then I got the second Rhino. I have the first Rhino. They're two matching pairs, and I made it where these things can open up. relatively close. No, it's just my local game store, but I put a lot of my stuff in the display case. I put a lot of my stuff over there in the display cases over at the game stores. Just to kind of have my stuff floating around, I guess. Now we can kind of zoom in a little bit. And then I have this aspiring champion. And the Demon Prince. And then I do have all the parts on this dude. Yeah, because he's magnetized. So I have the other one if you want to put the axes on them and stuff. They're all magnetized, so that goes in there. But this Demon Prince, though, I'm actually going to pop him off this round base, and I'm going to put him on a square base. And, well, actually, I don't think Demon Princes can go into Slaves of Darkness. Or the Warriors of Chaos. I'm starting to think. Maybe I can put him as a... I don't think there's a Demon Prince. Oh no, there's Demon Princes. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna put him as a Demon Prince in my Slaves of Darkness army. That was what's gonna happen with these. It's just Demon Princes. It doesn't. You have to pay like a certain amount of points for it to fit in there, I think. Let me see. But you can just kind of choose what you want. Where is it? Demon Princess. So it's monstrous infantry. A demon prince may be a wizard. A demon prince is that a wizard knows spells from one of the following lores of magic. Etymology, dark magic. Options may replace light armor with heavy armor. May have the fly special rule. May replace the Mark of Chaos Undivided with Mark of Korn, Mark of Nurgle, Mark of Slanesh, and Mark of Tzeentch. Those are an additional 10 points to do that. Unless it has a Mark of Korn, a Demon Prince may be a wizard. And then you can update that too to a level 1, 2, 3, or 4, but you have to pay points for that. May take the Gifts of Chaos. That's extra. May purchase magic item. That's another 100 points. Has a regeneration of a 5+. Unbreakable, unstable, warp spawn. There's a lot of stuff you can do, but there's a lot of points you have to add into this, and you can start getting in the old world of having really high army points. Like, it's kind of almost easy for old world to go and do as many points as kind of like Horus Heresy, where you can easily do like 2,500, 3,000, you know, right around like 3,000, 2,500, 3,000 points. You can do the same thing with old world, if I remember right, from just what I remember from old Warhammer Fantasy. All right, so we got all the black done, all the leather pieces are done, so all I got is just the silver and then the edge highlights of the blue. Not bad. And then a wash, and then we're done with this dude. Like, this is gonna be pretty quick, so go ahead and go up a spiel. The silver. I can't remember what colors what with scale 75, so I got so frustrated the other day trying to do a non-metallic metal on my Burna Boy that I put true metallic metal, and I'm not happy with it and wanted to try non-metallic metal again. It's a cycle, it is. Non-metallic metal is nothing that the bat an eye at. Non-metallic metal just takes a lot of patience and time. A lot of glaze coating. A lot of fat glazes, sketching it all in, trying to get the lighting, getting the lighting proper. They're like the Horus Heresy. I thought the Horus Heresy looks really cool. And they're technically a little bit of a better deal, like deal-wise, for Horus Heresy than little bit better, like price-wise, like out of your pocket for Horus Heresy, because like 10 of these intercessors are like $65, but you can get 20 Horus Heresy Space Marines. They come in boxes of 20, so that's like, and they're relatively around the same price. They could be like $70 or something like that. They're like, but you get like 20 models instead of 10. And sometimes out of things have 5. And the gameplay, just reading kind of through the rules and kind of watching some like battle reports and stuff on Horus Heresy, it seems like the gameplay is a little bit, can't say like better than 40k, but it seems like it is pretty nice. Doing some non-metallic metal on a really small area. Sometimes that can be difficult as well. Reflection proper, even on true metallic metal. You can still do a little bit of that non-metallic metal look. For some practice reps. Kind of help you out with non-metallic metal. You can utilize true metallic metal and the same kind of feature there. I'm going to go up. That one was heavy metal. Now we're going to go up to speed metal. This stuff is almost like white. Kind of doing like edges and trying to get the true metallic metal to kind of strike out a little bit more. It works better after a wash when I do this, but I can do it. Kind of edging a little bit, highlighting a little touch here and there. Try not to go too extreme. Normal circumstances, I would wash it first and then do my midtones and highlights with the true metallic silver. Kind of see how the true metallic metal, when you're reflecting it, got the darks where they're supposed to be and the bright where they're supposed to be. Bronze and copper can be a little tough because, like, if you're doing copper, you got to add a lot of orange. Sometimes you can get away with like pinks, depending on what kind of copper you're trying to do. And then bronze, you'll be using more purples for bronze. Well, nope, I take that back. More, yeah, like a purple brown. Like take a brown and purple and add some purple in there to actually get bronze. Bronze needs a little bit of purple to make that work. In my experience. We got that batch there. I need bright gold. Not a lot more to do. Okay, now we're gonna go into. I used up my Faded Ultramarine, so we need to go into a brand new bottle of Faded Ultramarine. Do the edge highlights on this guy. Then we gotta figure out what lieutenants take for patches. The lieutenant gets the skull with the thingy on it. So, brand new Pro Acryl bottle. You're gonna unscrew the top here. Right, this little piece here you're gonna leave inside. It's like a little circle foam. So sometimes these things are stuck right on top of here. Don't throw that piece away. That piece goes inside here to seal the inside of the bottle. And this piece right here, you'll peel this off. So this is how you know that your paint's good. You can actually buy these in like relative bulk because they're sealed, so you don't have to worry about the paint drying out inside. Screw on your top. Alright guys, let's just go into the steady roll of doing edge highlights on all this blue armor here. You can see here and just trace these lines. They're really nice. 90-degree angles. I normally just use it straight out of the bottle. Very seldomly do I have to water it down. That's only if the paint gets a little too thick on me over the course of having it for too long. Like after like a couple years have gone by, I'll have to eventually start using water just to thin it down a touch because it's not the same as when it was when it's brand new. But that's years down the road before I start doing that. And maybe the only thin down things that you have to do with Pro Acryl is if you're doing glazes. About it. You can go straight out of the bottle with this. It's thinned down enough where it works perfect, got good coverage. I really don't have to ever worry about that. Alright, God Emperor, you have a good evening. Almost just finishing up the highlights on the helmet and backpack, and then we should be pretty much ready for a wash and done. Complete finish from beginning to end. That works out good, because normally I do 4-hour streams, but I think we'll be done even before that. And closer. Gotta do his face. I gotta remember not to forget that. Here and do a double edge highlight here. Alright, that was pretty quick. Edge this dude pretty fast. Now we just got to get into the face. I'm gonna use a little bit of tan flesh. Haven't used a whole lot of the flesh tones from Acryl. Very seldomly I do. Okay. Yep. And then I just took a little bit of bright ivory and mixed it with the tan flesh, and then it's right around his face. Honestly, it doesn't take much. Go back into the coal black. I gotta see if I can actually reach inside the eye holes. Tough. Colors here. And we'll take some color. Have any normal color here. I gotta just throw a little bit of green here. These hit the eyeballs, you know? Oh, green glowy eyes or something. Oh. A little bit of touch of silver because he has a little there. Brighten it up just a touch. Oh. Add looks good there. All edge highlighted. Everything's looking pretty stellar right now. Go into some of these buttons, I guess. I got green anyways. Okay. Bright ivory. Too much on the red there. There we go. Now we're ready for the wash. All done. Did that all in one sitting, guys. Not bad. Started 10, 11, 12, 1 to 3 hours. 3 hours got this dude from straight out prime, painted, edge highlighted, all the colors added onto it, and then we just gotta get a wash. Oh, do we want to put a name on there? What's a nice simple Latin word? I need a Latin word. Need a There you go. Push. Virtus. Courage. Alright. Done there. I'm gonna close up my shop. And then we're gonna go right into an oil wash, and that is a completed Ultra Bro for tabletop standard plus ultras. Makes it look nice. All you have to do is just do the base, shake base it, and then that thing's like a excellent freaking tabletop standard, which I call a tabletop standard plus ultra because we do a lot more than just the 3 color coordinations. But we made the model look really sexy. Now we're just gonna sit there and tone everything down. We're gonna wash everything down, and we're gonna be using an oil wash. Yep, I'm gonna use oil wash. We're gonna be using Mr. Hobby, Mr. Weather coloring. This is the multi-black. This will take like just a few seconds. Now you're gonna need 2 parts there. You're gonna need the Mr. Weathering solvent. I pour the solvent into like a little 30 milliliter bottle twist top, but I just do that so the stuff doesn't evaporate and it separates so I don't get the colors into the actual big vial, and kind of keep it on its own. What I do is I dip into the oil wash first, then I dip into the solvent second, and we just kind of let it fly. Have it. Kind of rinse off all the oil wash into the solvent container. Get that off as best we can. And then that is completed from beginning to end, completely finished. Now we're going to give this a little bit of time to set, because it takes about 15-20 minutes for this to dry, and then we're just going to clean up all the rest of the excess, which is a makeup sponge. Get all makeup. Gotta wait for a little bit, because if we start hammering this out with a makeup sponge while this thing's not completely set in the crevices of the model, the sponge could absorb it out of there, and then you won't have the black lines. So you kind of just give it a minute for it to actually fully dry. But this is awesome. That was cool that we got that done from beginning to end. I think the next one that I'll do will be a chaplain. Perfect. Yep. Now it settles a little bit heavy on the bottom here. So I've been kind of picking it up as it's draining everything down to the bottom. Just works through all the little crevices here. Kind of lightly rubbing right across the top so I can kind of keep the brightness of this blue. Very cool looking model, really decorated, and we knocked it out in about 3 hours, a little over 3 hours, from beginning to end on the model part. And then if you're doing the base, after this all dries, just do the base and then shake bake it, and then you're done. Like, did that. And that's a lot of decorations on this model, so not bad. Super stoked, guys. Look at that. Knocked it out in one go. There you have it. Another model done. Another model done. And I am going to be closing up shop. That there is how we got the Phobos Armor, the Lieutenant and Phobos Armor. That one's all complete. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me. Make sure you subscribe to this video, to my channel, YouTube channel, and make sure you give me a likes on these videos. I do these every Sunday, so every Sunday we do a YouTube live. I'm trying to get through all my HQ models for all factions, and I'll be just kind of doing them all up here on YouTube, so you guys can always keep on referring back. So this is how we do the Ultramarines. The Ultramarines, doesn't matter if I'm doing a lieutenant all the way down to intercessors or dreadnoughts or what have you. That color scheme is how I go for my Ultramarines, and this is to get nice, good tabletop standard plus what I consider plus ultra. So we're doing a lot more extra work than a normal tabletop standard. But they look great, and they're going to look great when they go onto the table. They're going to look great when they come off the table. But just trying to give everything I did. The last videos that we did was all about Tyranids. Now this one here, I'm switching over and doing Ultra Bros, and then until I'm done with those, and then we'll keep moving on to more HQ models, so you know exactly the colors and everything that I use to get these things up and going. Shout out to my sponsors above. You're more than welcome to use those commands in chat, or if you go over onto my Discord, !Discord. Over on my Discord, I'm hoping that works. There we go. Over on my Discord, they'll be over on my sponsor affiliate links. Also, you can check out the Wicked store. I do have the Imperial Knights up there, but once all the Ultra Bros, they'll be all up there as well. See here, you can hit me up over on Twitch, because over on Twitch, that's tomorrow, we're going to be working on one of this White Scars, whatever con this guy is. He's an HQ model that we're going to be doing tomorrow on my Mondays, and then Wednesdays and Fridays we'll be back working on the assembly line of the Ultramarines. We're really close to being almost done with all those guys. So tomorrow over on my Twitch we'll be working on that guy for our prize wheel spin-off, but go over on my Twitch to know more about that. Hit me up over on my socials. Hoping that works. Takes forever. Because maybe it's just social. Oh, it worked. Okay. Over on my socials, follow me over on my Instagram. I really do appreciate it. And also, again, make sure that you are following me over here on YouTube. Subscribing to my YouTube channel, and making sure that you like my videos. And subscribe to my actual channel. I'm trying to shoot for that 1,000 follower subscriber goal for YouTube, so if you guys can help me out with that, I really do appreciate that. Other than that, that should be a wrap up. That is Ultramarine Lieutenant and Phobos Armor completed. We just needed to put the decals on there because I totally spaced that. We should have done that first before we did the oil wash. But, well, I think I've done decals on previous ones, but we'll make sure not to miss out on the next one. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me tonight. I really do appreciate that. Till then, I will catch you guys over on Twitch tomorrow, or I'll catch you guys over on Sunday if this is the only thing that you catch me on. And then on next Sunday, we'll do another Ultramarine until I'm done with all those, and we'll keep moving on. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Till then, I'll see you guys later.